so how that plays out is that we live in a world of contrast. So we encounter the unwanted constantly, and then we have a choice. We either linger on that unwanted thing, or we take the cue from it and we let the unwanted thing tell us what it is that we do want, and we start deliberately training our vibration to match what we do want. And this is a way of life that I recommend, and it includes everything. It includes matching your desires for your spiritual enlightenment, for inner peace, for unconditional love and compassion, in the exact same way that includes matching the desires for a new car or a great relationship or a good hair day, just anything. And so law of attraction is this universal law, and it works no matter what you apply it to. So that's all great, but what about these patterns of thought and attention that are so tightly wound and have so much attraction pulling more like it that it's like we can't seem to break the pattern? Or what about things like when you have pain in your body, or a difficult relationship, or no relationship, or not enough money? These things, they're like in-your-face physical realities, and it can be really hard, close to impossible, to turn your attention away from them long enough to change your vibration on the subject and shift the manifestation. And so it just it's like a vicious cycle. Well, I've encountered this time and time again in my life, and what Abraham says about this sort of thing, to my understanding, is that when you can, like they say, turn the other cheek, when you can turn the other cheek, when you can turn your attention from what is unwanted to what is wanted, then do that. But when you have something that keeps showing up and you just can't seem to shake that unwanted condition, or your mind seems like magnetically drawn to that unwanted reality, then they say you work directly on changing your vibration about that unwanted subject. But how do you do that? So this is exactly what we're doing here. We're taking those things that are really bugging you, these places in your life where you just can't seem to get a shift to happen. And I think we all have these. I certainly have them. And I've been working on this like forever. So you take these unwanted conditions and you're going to focus on them just long enough to bring them up on the screen of your attention. It's like bringing them up on your computer screen. And without going into great detail about them, and without going into resistant stance to them, and without going into resonance with them, we're just bringing them up and discharging them. We're like zapping the energy right out of them. We're draining them. So, Abraham says there's no such thing as exclusion. So you can't bring up this unwanted thing and say, okay, I don't want you, pushing you out of my awareness. You can't do that. But what we're doing here is a delicate little operation, but we're bringing the thing up and we're letting it dissolve. It's like, have you ever had, this is really true, like for those of you who are more like my age or older, we used to have these old TV sets where, like when you turned them off, they went like, and everything kind of went to snow, like maybe an old black and white TV set. So it's like you would be watching a show, and then for a split second, you would see the image just turn into the electrical impulses that were making it up, and then boom, it's gone. We're doing something like that here. It's like you have this thing that looks like a real problem, and once it loses its vibrational integrity, it just like, and then there's nothing to it. Once the pattern disassembles itself, it's not there anymore. So that's what we're doing. This is what we're up to at these energy clearing sessions. So you may notice that these subjects, these difficult issues, at the end of the call, they feel less weighty after the session, or maybe you feel less obsessed with them. They become transparent. They're on their way to total dissolution. They're evaporating, disappearing. They're dispersing to the point where they just no longer exist. So that's what we're up to today.